Decentralized networks process transactions with sub-second execution finality, yet this speed encounters structural friction at the point of enterprise integration. This friction stems from the opaque ledger problem. A standard blockchain transaction hash serves as an immutable proof that capital moved between two wallets. However, that hash carries no semantic context. It cannot tell an enterprise resource planning system whether a payment was for a specific software license, a GPU compute cycle, or a microservice API. Corporate compliance systems require more than a hash. They require evidence of what was delivered. Without this, machine-driven payments remain isolated from institutional accounting. Sub-second settlement offers little utility if the resulting record is illegible to standard auditing protocols. The Denarii Orchestrator functions as a translation layer between these two environments. Architected as a cross-chain control plane, it coordinates operations across the XRP Ledger, Algorand, and Hedera. Its primary function is to seamlessly reconcile the extreme speed of zero human execution with the strict requirements of institutional compliance. This reconciliation is managed through the auditable machine commerce framework. Unlike speculative crypto trading, this specific framework is explicitly designed to satisfy the rigorous data requirements of a corporate treasury. It compiles raw EVM transaction data into standardized financial messages used by global banking networks. To understand this bridge, we trace a machine-to-machine payment, beginning with the initial HTTP handshake and following it through to the final audit record. Establishing this verifiable data trail is the absolute prerequisite for granting AI agents on-chain spending authority in a corporate commercial environment. In this system, an autonomous client agent attempts to access a protected microservice on a resource server. The interaction begins with a standard HTTP GET request for the resource. The server, utilizing the DP402 protocol, intercepts the request and returns a 402 payment required status code. This response includes a header specifying the price in stablecoins, the accepted settlement network, and the destination address. The client agent automatically evaluates this challenge against its internal spending policies and budget limits. If the cost is within its parameters, the agent approves the transaction. It then constructs a payment token using the EIP 712 structured signing standard. This signed packet encapsulates the specific resource URL being requested, along with metadata detailing the business reason for the purchase and the task description. The agent retries the request, attaching this cryptographic signature directly to the HTTP header. By embedding negotiation into the transport layer, agents bypass manual checkouts, enabling commerce to occur at machine speed. Before this packet is released to the open network, it passes through a local security barrier. This is the Factum Shield. Its first task is to scan the metadata and redact any personally identifiable information before the transaction is exposed to the ledger. The shield then attaches a time-locked HMAC challenge to prevent unauthorized replay of the signature by third parties. This containment ensures that agents operate within predefined safety parameters, mitigating the risk of data leaks or unauthorized resource allocation. Beyond local security, the deployment of autonomous agents introduces a distinct mathematical risk known as the measurability gap. This gap appears when the cost to automate cognitive tasks falls below the cost of human verification. In this environment, operators are incentivized to deploy unverified systems. If a single agent executes code and audits its own work, any error probability compounds across successive steps. To counter this, Denarii implements multi-agent verification loops. An independent QA agent audits the process at checkpoints, resetting the error probability back to baseline. Once verified, the transaction moves to the settlement gateway, which requires a threshold signature from both the AI agent and the corporate policy engine. Final matching occurs inside a trusted execution environment. This isolated enclave prevents network actors from observing or manipulating the order before it settles. By utilizing multi-agent auditing and secure enclaves, the system stabilizes the workflow without the friction of manual human oversight. Even a secure settlement produces a transaction hash that remains indecipherable to standard accounting software. This is where the Factum engine compiler deconstructs the raw ledger data into a compliant accounting record. The compiler maps the transaction hash to the ISO 2022 entry ref tag, creating a cryptographic link between the audit slip and the ledger state. The debtor wallet address is mapped to the DBTR tag, identifying the agent through its autonomous identity profile. Finally, the specific resource URL is routed to the ADTL RMTINF tag, providing the semantic context required for reconciliation. The Factum engine transforms an opaque blockchain event into a structured, universally recognized record ready for immediate ingestion by enterprise ERP systems. While API payments handle instant transactions, complex industrial tasks require multi-step agreements and deferred settlement. These are managed through orchestration service mandates. This system utilizes an escrow-gated state machine. Funds are held in a smart contract and only released to the provider once an independent evaluator agent cryptographically verifies delivery. Completed mandates generate a reputation trail on the ledger, establishing a measurable trust score for every machine actor in the network. By enforcing code-based escrow and verification, agents can safely execute complex commercial agreements without the need for traditional legal intermediaries. The Denarii Orchestrator integrates these protocols into a single, unified coordination layer. Transport-native negotiation, secured execution, and standardized audit compilation work together to address the opaque ledger problem. As the network transitions from a communication medium to an execution layer, human intent is translated into audited, machine-readable financial events. The platform converts raw autonomous activity into accountable commerce, providing the infrastructure for a machine economy.